It was a hot August night in rural Nebraska. Jake, a truck driver, was heading home after a late shift. The only route back was an old two-lane road cutting through miles of cornfields. No streetlights, no houses, just endless dark. About halfway through, his headlights caught movement, a girl standing in the middle of the road. She was barefoot, wearing a white summer dress, and her hair was dripping wet. Jake stopped and rolled down his window. "Miss, are you okay? Do you need help?" She didn't answer. She simply raised her hand and pointed toward the cornfield. Confused and uneasy, Jake stepped out with his flashlight. "Is someone hurt?" he called. The girl turned her head slowly toward him. Her eyes were completely black. Before he could react, she let out a high-pitched scream that made his ears ring. The corn began rustling violently, as if dozens of people were running through it. Jake sprinted back to his truck, slamming the door just as something slammed against the passenger side hard enough to dent the metal. He peeled off down the road, shaking. When he got home, he found something disturbing. On his passenger side window, written in streaks of wet dirt, were the words, "You shouldn't have stopped." It was July 2018. For college friends, Ryan, Mia, Lucas, and Emily went camping near Lake Willard, a remote spot surrounded by dense forest. They pitched their tents, lit a fire, and started telling ghost stories. The night was warm, the crickets were singing, and the moonlight was spilling through the treetops. Around midnight, Mia noticed something strange. Just beyond the circle of light from their campfire, a figure stood, tall, thin, and completely still. Its face was pale, almost glowing, and its eyes reflected the firelight like a cat's. Lucas whispered, "Hey, do you guys see that?" The figure stepped closer, its movements unnaturally slow. It wasn't an animal, it was a person, but not quite right. Its head tilted at an impossible angle, like it was studying them. Emily's hand trembled as she reached for her flashlight. When the beam hit it, the figure vanished instantly. No footsteps, no sound, just gone. Shaken, they decided to pack up and leave. But as Ryan zipped the tent, they heard a whisper right behind them. "Don't leave me alone in the dark." They froze. The whisper didn't come from one of them. It came from the shadows. Without speaking, they grabbed their things and bolted for the car. Driving away, Mia looked into the rearview mirror. For a brief moment, she saw the pale figure sitting in the back seat, smiling. They never went camping there again. To this day, each of them swears they still hear that voice when they try to sleep in the dark. Summer 2021, Sarah rented a small lake house for a week of peace and quiet. The first 2 nights were perfect swimming during the day, reading at night. But on the third night, she woke at 2:47 a.m. to a soft knocking sound. It wasn't on the front door, it was on her bedroom window. She froze in bed, listening. The knock came again, 3 slow taps. She pulled back the curtain just enough to peek out. A man was standing outside, smiling up at her. His skin looked gray, like it had been underwater too long, and his clothes were dripping wet. She backed away from the window, heart pounding. Grabbing her phone, she called the police. But when she looked back, he was gone. The police arrived 30 minutes later, found no footprints, and told her it was probably just her imagination. But when she went to make coffee the next morning, she found something horrifying. On her kitchen table, there was a wet handprint, massive, larger than any human hand she'd ever seen. That night, she left the lake house. A week later, she got a call from the rental agency. "Ma'am, are you sure you left the property empty? The neighbors say they still see a man in the window at night.